Scottish Mudlarking here with Nicole and Craig. It's my birthday, so I've come to the place I love most, and that's the beach. And we're gonna look for things that I love most, and that's sea glass. So let's get on with it. There are so many different piles of stones here, I'm not really sure where to start, so I guess we might as well just start right at my feet. Okay, so we're looking for sea glass. Oh look, there's a pebble with a heart in it, can you see it? It looks like a perfect heart shape. That's nice.
So we're just going to swoop some of this stuff up as we go along. And see if we can find something a wee bit more special. Yeah. I guess we'll come back to this and have a wee look at it later on, eh? Yeah. There's
a wee birdie shell. I wanted to collect bird shells. Right. So there's just here. I'll turn it around a bit.
The irony of that is that you've actually blocked off one of the biggest species of sea glass yet. There's actually another wee bit just here as well. But yeah, there's these wee shells that have that kind of bird shape.
Yeah, and I need quite a few, so I'm taking these, or this one rather.
There we go, we'll have that.
And
we'll have that as well.
Yep, this one, okay.
Now these areas are filled with sea glass. Wee green bit there. See that?
Yeah.
As we say, this kind of area with all these stones tends to be packed full of sea glass. Oh, is that sea glass? That's not. That is. There's that blue actually. Oh no. Green. Wee bottle bottom there. Bottle bottom, what was it?
Bottleneck.
That's a bottleneck, yeah. It's a wee bit of a top.
Yeah, that's maybe a bit too shiny. I think we'll leave that one here.
Far too shiny, isn't it?
Yeah. What's that? Is that a pipe
stem?
Do
you know what? I saw a sort of like kind of really not great looking piece of sea glass that I was about to film, and I think they're right. And we don't find these at the beach. Well, very seldom.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's because they're really fragile and they tend to break. Oh, that's cool.
It's quite an unusual find for the beach there.
Yeah.
Let's pop that on top of a wee stone somewhere. Maybe here if you can get it to... Oh, well done. I honestly didn't think you were going to get that to balance, because it's a round surface on top of another round surface.
Yeah.
I thought it was sure to roll off.
That's perfect. That's like a little bead almost.
That's very cool.
Oh,
let's have that then. Right. Better than that shiny piece of glass. And probably better as well than the other pieces of glass that I'm about to look at. But you know what? We'll just take a wee second, because that... Is it quartz or what? Yeah. It's got really nice texture in it. You can't see it there. It's actually better where it was.
Yeah, there's like lines in it. It looks a bit kind of cloudy almost. Yeah, I do think that's quartz.
Do you know what's sad?
No.
Unfulfilled wishes. There's a wee hole in that wishing stone there, folks. Aww. It's just my idea, wee joke. Okay, so I saw... Yeah, there it is. It's just in front here. It's quite a nice chunky bit of sea glass. I think that's the kind of thing you want to pick up.
Yeah, that's really nice and smooth. Bottom.
You know, just before... Oh, you saw the fingers just nipping in there, just trying to grab it away. But just before you do that... I'm not sure if that's too sharp.
No, I think they're both really nice. And you can see the difference between white and seafoam very nice. So that's good.
True. Yep, two examples there. If I get them in the right shade, you should be able to see that the one here on the left has got a kind of really distinct blue tint to it. The other one on the right is kind of much plainer and just a kind of white piece of glass. Okay, let's have them then.
No, I'm taking it.
Yeah. That wee sea glass collection's coming along.
Yeah.
Got 3 or 4 pieces. That pipe stem, I think, a real surprise here.
Yeah.
Now my guess is that as I sweep by here, you're going to be seeing quite a lot of glass that I'm not picking up. That's either because I've missed it or because we've deemed it less interesting than other pieces. Like this piece for instance, just down here, if you can see that.
Yeah.
It's a wee bit too angular, I think. What do you reckon? Just pop that down there for a second.
It's quite nicely frosted. There is a little bit of a kind of a nibbled bit on the bottom. But other than that, it's really nicely frosted. There are 2 other pieces around this area that I think are a little less frosted, so I'll just point them out. There's just one stuck in there.
Hiding underneath the stone.
And there's one in there.
Alright,
quite
yeah.
small.
So you're not talking about this less frosted piece over here as well. As we say, folks, this area is absolutely jam-packed full of sea glass. But there's not every single piece is of interest to us today. Nicole's looking for some special birthday pieces. Now what's that? Is that a bit of a plate?
Oh yeah,
Just
so
here.
yeah, that's just the edge of the plate or the reverse, so maybe there's something on the other side.
Never know. Oh, that's quite cool. It's purple.
That is lovely.
I'm going to put that in the light so we can see it.
Yeah.
So we can find oh, there we go. It took me a while there.
Looks like the top of a tree or something like that. That's a really nice transfer print. And purple is such a rare colour.
Quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's perfectly smooth. That is what we're looking for.
Well, let's grab that one. I'll tell you what though, I'm going to put down something quite tragic. Just grab that off.
Yep.
Now here's the tragic piece. Oh, is it a bird? Oh, no, it's not. It won't even stay in place, actually.
Is it a half bird?
Yeah, it's a half bird.
Oh, no.
You can't do anything with half birds.
No, I'm not looking for half birds, just the full ones.
Right, so let's crack on then. So you really don't have to go very far here to find the next piece of glass, or in fact the next piece of glass, and that looks like it's got a wee bubble in it, that piece.
Yeah. Or the next piece yet. It's a little bit too far from you, so I'll put it near you. There's that one.
Right, there we go.
So that's 3 pieces. I quite like that little piece there.
Oh, got a pal there, a wee Doug. He's coming running up to say hello. Okay, so the seafoam piece you like?
Yeah, seafoam is just my favourite colour, I guess, so that's why I'm going to take that one. I'm a wee bit fed up with that pile, just seafoam and white, but I'm looking for something that's a wee bit more special, maybe a bit of pink or something, so let's go that way.
There's 2 actually quite nice pieces of sea glass right in front of the camera just now. One of them is just up there. I'm not sure if you can see that.
Yeah.
But there's another one and it's just over there.
It's a bit more tucked away, but it's amazing colour.
It's a better piece, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Now I'm going to go for the piece that's less stunning, shall we say, first, and then we'll swoop back around and see if we can grab that other piece. Now, is it on shot? Yes, it is. There we go. That's quite a nice piece of glass, but it's just, I mean, I suppose it's a wee bit seafoam. Very shiny up on the edges there. Not sure if you can see that. So just on this edge, very shiny. Now the other piece, a much better piece. That's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought for a minute there that was maybe a stopper. I can see it's not, but it's really like an almost electric turquoise. It's much darker.
Yeah, we've got a wee bit of shadow being cast over it just now, so the light's not hitting it. That's a wee bit better. You maybe get a chance to see the colour a wee bit better there. I thought when I first saw it, I thought this wee knobby bit, I thought it might be the like a sweetie jar, you know, the lid on a sweetie jar.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah,
but it's not.
Ah.
It's not. I think it's pretty safe to say that was a piece of a bottle bottom. But it's a really beautiful piece of glass.
Yeah.
Really nice colour.
Yeah, it's much darker. It's more an aqua rather than a seafoam, but just kind of a bit more kind of leaning towards turquoise. That's really nice.
Let's have that then.
Well, I can see your favourite piece there. It's a clear bottleneck, and I can see it has a thread on the outside, so it's after 1920s, 30s. It's not very well frosted, but it's got a really tiny opening.
You say not very well frosted, I say not at all frosted. Yeah. I think despite the fact that I like bottlenecks, I think we're probably going to leave that one. What do you reckon?
Yeah. It's not that frosted, and yeah, I do like them when they're kind of, even when they're broken and really smooth. So
yeah, and it's not that pink sea glass we're looking for.
Very true.
What do you reckon? Think we're going to find any of that?
Oh, I don't know. It's really rare, but we have found it here before when we're just out walking. There's a bit of green there. Can you see that? Lovely bright Kelly green.
That's actually very nicely frosted, that piece. I was going to walk by it at first, I didn't think much of it, but it is actually quite nice. Okay, let's grab that and we'll go up the beach a bit. Now, you might be thinking, they haven't gone anywhere. It's just a heap of stones. And that's because today the beach is pretty much full of heaps of stones. I think you can see them if I'm going to pull the camera back just a wee bit there. You can see there's rows and rows and rows of these down the beach, and we're going to sort of like take a wee wander along and have a wee poke around in each of them as we find them. Now, we haven't found the elusive pink glass just yet, but we were walking by here and Nicole spotted something that stood out from the other finds. Now I can see a wee wishing stone in front of me as well, but that's not what it is. So the real question is,
can you see it? It's a bit tucked away, and sometimes it's really difficult to spot that particular colour, and it really depends on how the light catches it.
That's the thing, yeah. So we want to try and keep the shadow off this. Oh, do you know what? There's actually something very cool just alongside it, but I'm not going to go away from this just yet because it is such a beautiful, beautiful blue colour. This wee piece in here. Oh, that's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's so well frosted. It looks almost velvet.
Yeah, it does. It's still a little bit wet, so once it gets dry, you'll really see the nice frosting like you see, and it's got a nice shape as well.
It's really lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So maybe I'll settle for that instead of the pink. What do you think?
Well, yeah, it's certainly going to make a really nice pendant, that one. These wee blue ones are lovely. So, just in this area, before we pick that up, we're just going to leave that there for just a second, and I shall draw your attention to this piece here. I'm being dramatic because it's got a slight yellow tint to it. I don't think it's UV, but it might be. It might be. We found quite a bit of UV glass here before. Yeah,
we have. I mean, if it is UV, then we'll show you it when we shine the light through it.
Yeah,
but I
promises.
It might not be. There's another green piece there as well. Can you see that?
I see that.
Well?
Are you looking at the piece up there?
No.
Or are you looking at that big chunky piece right there?
Piece there, which looks like that might actually be a bottleneck.
I thought, yeah, it is. It looks like an applied neck to me. I thought at first when I saw that one that it was a pebble, and then just if you look at this, actually, this is quite an interesting point, right? So how can you tell the difference between sea glass and a pebble? And in this instance, it's actually more obvious than it is with some sea glass, because you can see little chip marks there and these unnatural kind of angles there as well, and all of these things kind of give it up as a piece of sea glass. I think in the future Nicole's compiling a wee list of hints and tips for avid sea glass hunters.
Yeah,
that's really nice chunky piece though.
Yeah,
so I'm going to add that to the little pile there, that we've got that kind of yellowish looking piece. We've got that beautiful blue piece, and now that chunky green piece. And Nicole has just spotted another piece just off to the side there. So I'm going to have to swing down here in order to get that though. Anybody, we might have actually had a wee bit of wind hitting the microphone there. I do apologise if that's the case. There we go, that's quite a nice bit. I think that's just a plain piece of glass. But it's quite a nice shape, quite a nice size, and it's beautifully frosted as well. Oh, in fact, that's actually very nice, isn't it? Just look at that. That's almost purpose made.
Yeah, it's got a really nice leaf shape. It's got, it's really pleasing to the eye to look at it because it's got such a lovely shape.
Yeah, it has, isn't it? Okay, let's have that, and we'll go back over to this wee spot where we've been heaping these wee treasures. Now, there we go, 4 amazing wee bits of sea glass. I'm not sure that something's going to be made of all of them, but I reckon that these 2 pieces on the top there are going to end up being something quite special.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to just scoop them up now.
There's a couple of things that I can see in here from a distance. One of them is a bottleneck piece, and it's quite cool actually. But the thing that caught my eye here first was this wee piece of pottery there. You know, from a distance it looks like it's almost hieroglyphics, but I mean it's obviously not. So I'm just going to have to tap the screen. So glove you off, tap the screen. Now hopefully that's in focus. It's a bit better in focus than it was a second ago, that's for sure. Okay, so what do you reckon that pattern is? I mean it's transferware, right?
Yeah, it's transferware. I think it's a pictorial piece, and from where I am, which I think is probably the right direction, it looks like there's a column on it.
Oh, maybe you can rotate that for the camera then.
I've slightly wiped it there. Okay, I think you can see it better now. So on the left hand side it looks like there's some trees maybe. On the right hand side it looks like a bit of a building, maybe a column. Maybe
like Roman or Grecian pattern sort of thing. Well, not the Grecian pattern, but maybe a Grecian motif or a Roman motif.
Yeah, and because we know that a lot of transferware was based on like old paintings, so that's probably what that was.
Now, that's an interesting piece of glass. Now, I've seen these before. I'm not sure if we've actually done a section on them or if we've just spoken about them in passing, but this is this secrecy glass, privacy glass. I think privacy glass is the word rather than secrecy glass. The kind of glass that you used to get on you know, bathrooms and office doors and the like. So this is kind of scored and contoured so that you can't see through it easily. That's a nice wee bit. It's a nice wee bit of shape as well there. Might be a wee bit too shiny for Nicole's tastes, but we'll take it along. Now, here's the big question. Is that a marble? Ah yeah, that caught Nicole's interest. Is it a marble? I think you know what it is.
Yeah.
It's half a clay marble.
Yes.
It's only a half, which is a real shame. But do you know what?
Yeah.
Half a marble's better than no marble at all, right?
That's an amazing present for my birthday.
Hey, go, a wee birthday present for you. It's I'll leave it there actually because we can see it there. It's sheared almost perfectly on that side.
Yeah.
It's really neat and so smooth there as well.
Oh.
But just, you know, put it there. There's a perfect wee dome. A wee half marble.
Oh, thank you.
No worries.
That's cool.
It was the beach. The beach gave it. Yeah. I just had to go find it. There we go. A wee half marble for Nicole.
A half marble is as good as a whole marble. You know what that means.
It's time for the Snoopy Dance.
Yay.
Hey, come on then. Let's see if we can find a whole marble.
Okay.
Do you know, it strikes me that the further we get along the beach, these little heaps of stones just seem to be getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, well, the sea sorts the size of the stones, so I guess that is true.
Yeah, well, this is probably the smallest heap we've seen so far, but do you know what? I can see two really cracking pieces in there.
Yeah.
And they're right on the edge.
Yeah, like they were left there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, one of them, this wee piece over here, I'm sure that's a bottleneck. That's got to be a bottleneck piece. Oh, do you know what? I'm not entirely convinced it is a bottleneck after all.
Yeah.
It's far too narrow, I think, though, to be the side of a bottle.
It almost looks like one of the ridges of a Coca-Cola bottle, but I don't think it's that. Maybe it's part of a cod bottle, actually.
It's got a nice wee concave bit inside there as well. That's quite cute.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the better piece is that piece right there. That kind of teal piece.
Yeah, I think
that's really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the bottom part of a little tiny utility bottle.
It is, yeah. You can see the little arc there.
Mm-hmm.
So the thicker bit would have been the edge of the bottle, and the bit where you can see the stone through it just now here, that would have been the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
So either a wee utility bottle or maybe a wee bit too big to be one of these medical vials. But yeah, a nice wee find. It's got a nice wee nook. Is that a wee nook? It's got a wee nook in there.
Yeah,
actually
full
quite
of sand.
sweet. Yeah.
Sandy nook.
But I think, yeah, nice wee pieces and a beautiful teal colour. So, definitely adding them to the collection. Well, it seems that we've reached a point where the beach is gathering larger piles, or the stones are moving into bigger collectives. I'm not sure what that says about these stones. Do you know what though? I'm not immediately seeing cool stuff in this larger pile.
No.
Sometimes exclusivity is more desirable. Certainly seems to be when we're looking at piles of stones.
Yeah, I see kind of a couple of smaller pieces, tiny pieces of green. Oh, there to your left there, you see that really dark aqua piece there.
Now that's very good. That's a very nice piece actually.
Yeah, it's almost turquoise.
Yep. Yeah, it's really well frosted as well. I'm gonna have to get this glove off again, make sure this is in focus. Sorry if that makes the camera shake a wee bit, folks. There we go.
Aha, okay.
Do you think that's green?
No, that's that's aqua. That's no green.
Okay, it's a cool colour. It's a birthday colour.
Yeah.
It's no pink.
No.
But it is a cool colour. Maybe burl that around a wee bit. We'll have. Oh,
you see, it's
a bottle bottom again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, you can really see how it's still a little bit shiny on the inside, because that's really difficult for the sea to make things frosted there on that sort of inside bit.
It might be that bottle has a wee bit more recently shattered, although if it has, we'd expect to see some shiny on the side there as well, and lo and behold, there we go, wee tiny bit shiny on the side there.
Yeah.
I still think it's worth taking.
Yeah, it's a really nice colour.
Okay, let's have that then. Well, it's that time and we're kind of rushing off the beach just now. Not because the tide's going to chase us away, but because it's getting freezing and it's well past lunchtime. But before we do, we're just going to take a last wee minute just to scan up through this pile. Now right at the bottom, it's all seashells, and lots of them have been kind of sun bleached. And there's some mussel shells in there as well. Mussel shells, that's the tricky shells. We call them the sort of trickster shell because they hide in between stones and they pretend to be beautiful blue sea glass, but they're not.
Oh, look what I've just spotted. Oh, that's
I walked
really
right by that.
Yeah.
And that's a very nice one as well.
Yeah.
So, regular viewers will be surprised that I went right by this, because it's the kind of thing that I like to find. And this one is a really nice kind of example, I think. Yeah. At least I hope it is. So it's this. It's we bought. Oh, how lovely is that? It's like a ring.
So it is.
Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, and a beautiful amber colour. It's like root beer. That's really nice. Okay, shall I just take it?
Yeah, just let's have a wee look at it for a second.
Yeah.
Maybe just burl it around a wee bit and we'll get a look at all its different angles and sides there.
That's really
that's
nice.
Cool. Do you know, it's a wee bit heavy for a ring. I'm always tempted.
It is.
I've managed to squeeze that on my pinky. Okay, let's have that. Now, I don't know if we're going to find anything better than that in this pile, to be honest. That's a really nice bit. So, scanning along. Let's just see. Oh, they're a big chunky piece.
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see it now, yeah.
Big chunky piece, well, it looks clear to me rather than seafoam. I thought it might be seafoam at first. Do you know what?
Does it have a wee hole in it?
It's another bottleneck. How can we tell it's another bottleneck? Well, I'll let Nicole explain why we can tell that was once on the neck of a bottle.
Yeah, you see that little hole there? That's where the metal bit would have sat for a swing top stopper, so that's how we know that is from a bottleneck. And you probably know what a swing top stopper is. It's those white stoppers that we find quite frequently. So.
Yeah, and if you don't know what if you don't know what a wing stop popper, no, if you don't know what a swing top stopper is, get my words again, then you're not watching enough of our videos. That's all I'm saying about that. Just kidding. Anyway, let's have a look around this wee pile, see what else is in here. That's a very thin piece of glass over there. Ah,
yeah, okay. Yeah,
I don't know what that would have been. Yeah, this piece, it looks like it was a bottleneck or something, but it's very, very thin glass.
Yeah, maybe more modern then.
Yes, I think we'll leave that.
It's a bit of pottery. Let's turn that around. Oh, nice. That's very nice.
Nice, yeah. So, what do you think? Spongeware, transferware, very faded transferware, maybe?
It looks like spongeware, maybe a bit of the blue flow pattern. It's really nice and dark blue.
Okie dokes. That'll find its way into the wee collection bag.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think we're going to be able to take this one because there's a wee bit excess around it. But it's another wee birdie piece there.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, yeah.
You can see it's a birdie there. But the problem is, it's a wee bit too much there.
Yeah,
what do you reckon?
Too much of that shell left. But
too much shell.
Wee birdie here, and I'm going to take this one.
Alright, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one. Come back in and have a wee look at that. There we go. Okay, cracking along because you know this wee pile here. We're going to have to get through it before my fingers fall off. It's a wee bit parky, it's not too bad. Okay, there we go, that's a nice wee pair. Nice wee pair. There's a little, is that clear or are they both seafoam?
I think they might be, well, the one on the right does look white, doesn't it?
It does a wee bit, yeah.
Here.
Now, I'll leave you to grab them whilst I swing around past all these sun-bleached shells to see if there's anything else that we can pick up here.
You never know what's beneath the shells.
Do you know, I thought there was more here. When I first looked over here, it looked to me like there was a lot more stuff. Oh, hang on. Oh, do you know what? I think that's got to be a pebble, right? Yeah, I've just found a pebble. I thought this was another piece of glass. Oh, hang on. I'm going to ask Nicole to take a closer look at that because I'm not sure what that is.
It looks like a pebble.
Yeah, it's got a wee sheen to it.
Alright.
It looks to me like it might be glass, but do you know what? I'm looking down through a camera monitor, so who knows what I'm really seeing. I'll take a closer look at that for a second. Maybe it's just covered in a wee bit of algae or something. That's what's giving it that green tint. Just a stone, right?
Yeah, just a stone.
Alright, well we'll get rid of that. Probably heard that there, folks. That's the evidence that we left it behind. Not so much left here, unless that's another stone. Craig, stop finding stones, man. A wee bit of pottery there.
Look up, what I can see there. Big piece of spongeware.
That's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
It might need cut down, but who knows. That's really nice. I think that the top half of that motif actually reminds me a little bit of an old cave carving where you have kind of two, they're almost like wheels on either side, but that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a really nice sponge pattern, isn't it?
Okay, let's grab that then, and we'll get along and have a look at our best finds.
Like the wheels of a car.
Well, sadly, we didn't find that pink piece that you were looking for your birthday, but I think we did okay nonetheless.
Yeah, well, it's always glorious to be at the beach, and I think we found some amazing pieces, so let's take a closer look at what we found today.
I think we did pretty well today. There's some really beautiful pieces of sea glass in there, and there's a few other wee odds and ends, so without any further ado, I think I'll let Nicole talk you through what our finds were today.
Yeah, okay, so we found a couple of really lovely little bird shells, some sea foam pieces, and I really love these two pieces of pottery there. I think you found both of those. Yeah, so those pieces with a nice transferware. Oh, and you also found the clay marble. It's really been your day. But
half clay marble.
Yeah. This is my birthday prezi, so I'm keeping that one.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm finding these things, but you know what? they're all yours. They're all yours anyway.
Yeah, and then the lovely pieces of the blue. This piece, I can already see that as, yeah, okay, a necklace. It's going to be a necklace. And then we've got a couple of lovely pieces of geometric spongeware. And what else have we got there? That nice piece of milk glass. And these awesome pieces of really beachy looking sea foam, really chunky pieces.
You know, it's funny you'd say that these beachy pieces of glass. I guess that's the thing, you know, they call them sea foam for a reason. And you know, if you're looking for sea glass, it's this kind of stuff that you're more likely to find than any other. And it's absolutely gorgeous, so it's beautiful sea glass.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take a couple of pieces, and I think we're going to have a giveaway. So keep your eyes out for that in the community page.
In Germany, it's traditional to give other people presents when it's your birthday. Kind of odd concept, right? Yeah. But for that very reason, we're going to have a wee giveaway to celebrate Nicole's birthday.
It's been a fantastic day out for my birthday, and to celebrate we've also got a wee sale on our Etsy shop, and we've got a giveaway, so keep your eyes out for that on our community page. It only remains for me to say thank you so much for watching, liking and commenting. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take a minute to subscribe. An extra special thanks goes out to everybody who's been supporting the channel through your Ko-fi donations and through Etsy. That really keeps the lights on and makes a massive difference. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.